You're watching The Wild Ones, a traveling series that spotlights people off the beaten path forging their own way. My name is Megan Koval, and I'm a pathfinder who went AWOL from the corporate world to launch my own remote branding business. Join me as I travel the world and meet people who share their daring pursuits and lessons along the way. I'm here in Zurich. We have arrived. Just got back from Warsaw, so flew in from Warsaw Airport last night. Got in really late. Went to bed probably around 2, woke up at 8. Not sure if you can hear the background of the street that I'm staying on in Zurich, but it's loud, it's vivacious, it's fun, but it'll wake you up in no time. So probably will have a little bit of extra coffee before I go and meet up with Alex Zuber, who is going to share her story of what it's like to be a freedom coach and helping others pursue what freedom means to them, what that lifestyle looks like, and really how to design this life that you desire. So let's go pick up Alex, head out for a walk. We're gonna meet her at the train station. So let's see if we can find that place. So excited to be here in Zurich with Alex Zuber. Was introduced to you from someone that I met at a Nomad conference in Gran Canaria, and you met on a Nomad cruise. The commonality that we had, which we'll probably dive into in a little bit.
And then we also just realized we know someone else, both of us.
So we're realizing that the remote nomadic community is quite small, isn't
Definitely,
it?
yeah.
Global but small.
It's growing fast, but it's still small.
And we're going to be talking all things nomadic life with Alex today. And we've already touched a little bit on globalization, knowing the community, the freedom aspect that goes with really designing your own life, which is something that you specialize in as a freedom coach. So I'd love to, before getting into the heart of our whole conversation, for you to just introduce yourself a little bit, your story, and what got you into becoming a freedom coach.
Cool. So yeah, I'm Alex. I'm 30 years old. I'm originally from Germany, but I've always felt when I was growing up that I want to experience more freedom. I want to see the world. I want to meet the most inspiring people. I wanted to find myself. So what I did directly after high school, I bought a one-way ticket to Australia and went the furthest I could go.
Wow. That is the furthest you can go.
Without really a plan. So the only plan I had was I had a working holiday visa because I knew I wanted to stay 1 year. It was the first time where I saw that it's possible to live a life on your own terms. And then I studied business psychology with a focus on training and coaching because I knew I wanted to do something where I help people. But then I was okay, I have to go abroad again. I have to experience life again. And then I got accepted to study abroad in Canada. And then I was studying, I was also working a bit in companies. And in these companies, it was always okay and nice. And it was not horrible, but I always felt I want to do something meaningful. And I want to be more the boss of my own time. And I also want to continue traveling. And I felt I cannot do that when I'm working the normal way.
Okay, is this the freedom itch?
Yes.
That you started to scratch?
Definitely.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
While I was working there, and then I was finding people online who already lived that life, that real location independence and blogging and making money online. And yeah, I was consuming all this information, and then I was okay, maybe I should take the leap again after my studies and just give it a try. And I also saw that you can do coaching online, and I already was in the field of coaching and I wanted to impact other people's lives, so it was really perfect. But so what I did is I went to some conferences where I met other people. So there's a conference, it's called Digital Nomad Conference, DNX, in Germany. Maybe you know it.
Yes.
It used to be only German, then it expanded. So I was like on one of the first ones. And there I met also great people, which helped me to take my decision further. And then my studies were coming to an end and I was like, okay, now do I go for it? And then, I really wanted to go for it. And then I found this amazing Nomad cruise.
Yes, shout out to Nomad Cruise.
Shout out to Nomad Cruise, which really gave me the last confirmation that I'm on the right path.
I mean, you're fortunate in the sense that you were able to find that niche right out of college, right?
Yeah.
So many people, and I think I fall into this bucket as well, we go the conventional path after school because we think it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
We think that it's the only thing to do.
Yeah.
And we start to head down this path, again, speaking for myself, that's not in line with truly who we are, or the values that we really want to stand for, like the freedom that you talk a lot about. We just don't think it's attainable. We don't think that there's a real life that you can live, whereas you found it right out of school. And
but I have to say, it didn't come without challenges because you always still have this, oh my God, am I doing the right thing? I don't have so much money in the beginning, right? And it's a really beautiful place.
It's so beautiful. Excuse us, we're just appreciating this.
We're in Zurich, which is a beautiful place, and we're so lucky that the weather is good now. I know it sounds really woo-woo, but if you begin this journey, you will see that you should do some things to get there, but also you should trust that the universe and whatever you believe in or the power will help you to meet the right people. And it's also called the law of attraction, and it's scientifically proven that what you put out, the vibe you put out, it'll come back to you. So if you set the intention that you want this life and you act on it, then the rest will fall into place. Trust me.
And this is a little bit of what you do, examples of how you work with clients as a freedom coach. Is that right?
Exactly. So I work a lot I did when I came back from this big trip, 7 months in South America, I also did a coaching certification because I wanted it to be proper. And after that, I took a lot of programs on mindset and all these kind of things. So it's really important that strategy is important, like what you do and what your actions are, but what's even more important, I think what's the foundation is how your energy is, how your mindset is, that you believe in yourself, that you can actually do it. And that also connects you with the right people and situations, because here you can see the mountains.
Ooh. I wonder if you can actually see it from behind us.
Yeah, the sun is there.
They look like clouds in the background, but they're mountain peaks. Wow. So talk to us about what that's like, shifting your mindset and going off the beaten path and exploring this route that probably a lot of people that you grew up with didn't explore as well.
Naturally, I was always a bit of a rebel, and I had really strict parents, and I felt always constricted by when they forbid me things, and I always thought in possibilities rather than limitations. But also I have to say that really putting myself, just going for it, that first time after high school really helped me, because then I experienced from the outside that everything is perfect, everything will fall into place. Of course it had challenges always, not saying everything is perfect, but you learn how to trust, and you learn that it's good to go with your gut and not listen to people, because, for example, your parents, they always mean it in a good way, but they're only telling you their advice from their own experience, because we are all reprogrammed. As it starts in childhood, it's actually the most profound in childhood, because we are unconscious, we are only conscious from year 7, age 7, and everything which you get fed into before is the programs usually from your parents, so what they say, and that sticks with you. It's really deep ingrained in you, and that's why also when people have trauma, really bad trauma, for example abuse or something else in their childhood, that's why it's so hard for them to get out of that and live a happy life afterwards. It can be anything. And we basically all have trauma, some in a way. But I'm not talking about that everything is like super bad, but we're all conditioned by our childhood, by our family, by our environment, how we grew up in. And I see it every day when I talk to people. It's crazy. But the good news is that if you know the tools, how you can reprogram your programming, like your conditioning, then, and if you work on it, then you can really create the life of your dreams, and you can live emotionally free and generally free. My best, like a really good advice, what I really like is like get clear on who you want to be, what you want to be, what you want to feel on a daily basis, and then already start acting on it. And sometimes it's hard if you're like really sad or feel stuck in a place, but if you like what you focus on expands, right? You might know Anthony Robbins. I really like him, and he talks a lot about that where your focus goes, energy flows, and it's so true. Like,
Yes.
letting go is also a big thing. So letting go of people who always talk bad about your dreams, or don't believe in you, or just don't have a good vibe. So I know it's hard, but trust me, it's worth it to sometimes let go of people, let go of your old self and habits also. Like I also started to create new habits, that I have like a morning routine, I do journaling, I practice gratitude, that you're grateful for what you have, even though if you're not where you want to be yet. And that really changes your entire thinking. Like today I shared something in my Facebook group about I am affirmations, so you can think about where do you want to be, what are your most core desired feelings.
Yes.
You know this one?
I do know this.
It's so cool. What are yours?
So I actually have a book called Color Your Calling, and it allows people to tap into using creative mindfulness and coloring as a mindfulness or meditative technique to then unlock their calling, their purpose, their vision, all of these things. And when I help them through this process or the book, a lot of people struggle with, am I good enough for this? Or is this path, do I deserve this kind of path? And what I've realized people need is affirmations, allowing them to really step into their power and having these wonderful positive statements of, self-positivity on a daily basis. So I like to think of them as apples. Like a doctor always says, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So I like to think an affirmation a day keeps the apprehension away.
Oh, that's a good
so
one.
Allowing people to just have that thing that they can come and they can read or reflect on daily, and then actually step into and live on a daily basis, and to your point, act on. I think like that's the most important when you talk about actions. I'd love for you to speak about that a little bit more, because at what point you can read as much self-help books as you can or read all of it and learn all of it, but at what point do you take action, or how do you help others take action towards this path?
So it's true that sometimes it takes a while until you feel ready, but maybe you never feel ready. That's another thing. Like you always have this a little bit of fear. Like it's okay to read first and be inspired by everything, but nothing's gonna really change it if you don't take action. And you have to, for me it's always when I cannot stand it anymore, something in my life which I want to change, which when I just feel okay, nothing is changing because I'm just reading, I'm not taking action, then I take action for me. But you don't even have to wait so long, you shouldn't. What really helped me is really like surrounding myself with this like-minded people. You can find them in today's world.
We made it to the tram.
Yay.
So where are you taking me?
Taking her to Seilbahn-Riegiblik, which is a beautiful view over Zurich. And
we'll see where it takes us. Here's where our strolling interview turned into a full-blown hike. And I should have seen it coming. I mean, after all, here I am asking about how to stop dragging your feet and take action toward a freedom lifestyle.
Consciously or subconsciously, this psych major and freedom coach was showing me that this freedom lifestyle takes discipline. But wow, is it worth the sweet views?
Hawks flying. We have this amazing perspective of Zurich, and I feel like it's just so symbolic to who you are and what you stand for.
Yes,
helping people see their big perspectives and the possible perspectives that they could have.
Yeah.
And then not only seeing it, but this is also what we were talking about, but actually achieving it, actually living it,
Yeah.
And building those actions behind it. And I think that's what makes you so differentiating, right? You not only focus on the perspective and building that confidence, but also allowing people to live that life.
Yeah.
Which I think is so important.
Yeah, I think it's really important to have the combination of mindset, strategy, and energy, because one doesn't go without the other. I think mindset is the foundation, and then everything else, your energy comes then from the mindset, and then the strategy. Then you can execute those action steps, the strategy. But you need all three, I think.
Alex, thank you for this amazing day. The
Thank
workout,
you. It was
the
fun.
hike, the chat. I mean, this has been the most beautiful walk and philosophical conversation, inspiring conversation that we could have, which I just love is on top of a mountain. How fitting.
So good. And the weather goes on our side too.
All right, so you're going to bring me back down the mountain, right?
Yeah, of course. Smells not that bad.
All right. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
To learn more about Alex and how you can live a freedom-based life, visit alexandrazuber.com or find her on Instagram or Facebook at Alexandra Zuber Coaching. Thanks for tuning into this week's Wild One series. That was Alex Zuber from Zurich. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tune in to next week's episode, where I spend time with the co-founders of WeSpace, a community and workspace inspired by women to nurture leadership, collaboration, and innovation.